All right, Joel, we appreciate the update on that. Glad to hear that for the most part everyone is okay, because when you see the extent of a roof collapsing on a building that size, you know, your heart just drops.
Yeah, and you just get that sheer amount of water dumping in one place at the same time over and over. I mean, these are the kinds of situations that folks end up dealing with.
Yeah, so we want to show you some more video from the Beaumont area now.
Yeah, this is Vidor. This is just outside of Beaumont, actually east of Beaumont in Orange County. Families stuck in this apartment complex, as you can see there, because of knee-high water. All that water made it just impossible for them to get around. They're just trying to wade through the parking lot there, walking near some vehicles. One person there hold what appeared to be some belongings. There's another person wading through that knee-high water with an umbrella, hopefully looking for some higher ground there.
Yeah, certainly, because as we advise, it's not advisable to be walking through or wading through the floodwaters, but we understand that, you know, some folks find that they have no other option at this point. Also, and just up the road on Highway 12 from there is the small town of Mauriceville, that's east of Vidor. Take a look. The water was over the roads this morning, and an SUV was left abandoned after it looks like it fell into a ditch. That's the big danger of driving in high water. You never know where the road ends, right? The video also shows homes in that area completely surrounded by water.
Yeah, and I know there was an issue, a couple of issues this morning with a couple of hospitals in Orange County being inaccessible. This is while we were on the air during our morning broadcast. Unclear what the situation is like. One of the hospitals, I understand, was Riceland Healthcare. The name of the other hospital slips my mind right now, but there were two hospitals in Orange County where the situation was quite dire this morning. Now to some rescue video in Beaumont. High water vehicles, as you can see, filled with people there who became trapped by the quickly rising floodwaters. The heartbreaking part of all of this, there is a kid right there. You see him being taken off that truck, wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah, that's why they say if you do not have to be out in the elements right now, don't. Stay at home so that first responders can go out and actually help the people that are out there right now that do need the help, like that young child right there.
And they've been doing such a terrific job, Christine, as we've been reporting on throughout the morning and into the afternoon, not just in the Kingwood area of Northeast Harris County, but as we just saw that play out, that scene in East Texas, in Beaumont, Jefferson County. There is a lot of work to be done in terms of reaching those people who need help. That's why members of Texas Task Force 1 are on their way to Beaumont so they can assist with first responders in helping to save lives.
Yeah, and Frank, they're certainly busy. The first responders we're wondering, like, hey, when is this going to let up?
Yeah, and I want to say Harvey hit Beaumont just as hard as it hit us. People, we were so consumed with our own dire problems that we may not know that. You know, the most deaths from Harvey were in Harris County. The second most deaths were in the Beaumont area. It went from here to there, and it hit them just as hard with just as much rain. So this is their second time to the rodeo, that is for sure. I want to show you some more click to pins. You've all been so kind to send them in. I want to show them. This is the Tascasita. There you see someone observing the street. There's that mailbox, gives you an idea. This is in Raywood, Texas, in the backyard. Obviously, the pool is floating there. This is Memorial Parkway. Street water is rising fast, according to this viewer. This is Garner's Bayou at Beltway 8. And you can see that is certainly on the rise. We're looking at I-10 1 mile west of Winnie, as we were just talking about. Winnie and East Texas hit so hard. You know, Chambers County and Liberty County were hit really, really hard by Harvey. Floodwaters in Dayton, that's Liberty County, and that gives you the idea right there. And then this is San Felipe to 610. So viewer here saying it was worse there than even Harvey. This is obviously the comparison from 2 years ago and will continue to be. I wanted to show you Galveston. It's not coming down that hard, although you are under a flash flood warning. You had 8 inches of rain yesterday and seeing 1 inch to maybe 2 inches so far today. So do be careful there on the island. Look at this, I-10 at McCarty, and you can see it looks like a bus there trying to get through, or maybe even an emergency bus. This is stuck. That's not going. That's stuck. I'm telling you, turn around, don't drown. Don't get out on this if you can't help it. These red boxes are all flood warnings. No surprise, from Conroe to Galveston, from Beaumont to Columbus, and now back out toward Lake Charles and even Cameron, Louisiana. All this rain continuing to push in. The two zones that I'm watching, especially not only Galveston, but this area from downtown right out I-10. That's where I've been talking about that convergence zone. You can see these storms coming in from the north, and then look at these storms coming in from the south. And so when those meet, they're not going to go anywhere. It's just I mean, they'll eventually will, but not quickly. Two forces just trying to battle it out. And the air goes up and creates these big vertical wind shears, and that's where you get those showers and thunderstorms with all of that lightning. You got to get the wind way up there, that rain way up there in the atmosphere to get lightning. It's got to get cold up there, and that's exactly what is happening there. So the lightning there. Everything else generally in Harris County to the east side in Liberty County and Chambers County is not nearly as organized, not nearly as heavy the kind of rain. Although we're going to have to watch as we go through the afternoon, as you're going to see. There's the lightning that we're putting on there. You can see those showers and storms moving from Fulshear to Richmond and Rosenberg, right out toward Orchard, East Bernard. Sealy getting a bit of that. It's finally moving out of there. And then down south of I-10 and on the south side here, continuing, looks like Meadows and Sugarland right on toward Stafford. So be careful on that side now. I know you've had a bit of a break for most of the day. Now I'm afraid that it's your turn. So far, 2 and 3 inch amounts of rain have been what's common. So it hasn't come down like it was earlier. It's not nearly the storm that we saw in Conroe and Kingwood and off toward Winnie, but it is still some rain to deal with. And if you've had rain in your neighborhood already this week, then that's just going to be more problems. And then down here in Galveston and Bolivar, that's where we're seeing these showers and thunderstorms right along the island. Flood warnings there, mainly because of what you had yesterday, and adding to that is going to cause problems. You see this dark green is 2 and 3 inches of rain from Bolivar to downtown Galveston. I know Jamaica Beach and the West End picked up just horrendous rains yesterday. 7 and 8 inches came in very, very quickly. So that's what we have now. I want to initialize that because I want to show you the Futurecast. Things are quieting down for the east side, active on the west side down into Fort Bend County, active on the island, and getting a little active right around the radar. Because this is so close to the radar, it tends to exaggerate a little bit, but still northern Galveston County, do watch out there. You were hit hard with rains the last couple of days, and you can certainly see more. So this initializes pretty well. This continues to move south, but look what happens out to the west. That continues to stay there. That's 115, there's 215, then 3, 315, finally really so. Another couple of hours for this to edge on out of Harris County, but we're still looking at the bay because as this tries to move south, that flow coming in off the Gulf is just going to stall it. So that's why this isn't moving as quickly as everywhere else. It does eventually by 4 or 5 o'clock get on out of here, but obviously not completely. Once we get to 7, it's really pretty quiet. And then as we go into the overnight, we should be in pretty good shape. So we're not going to have to worry about this tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. Futurecast rainfall from now until then. You can see how this through 2:30 builds some pretty solid 3-inch amounts of rain. Continues through 3 o'clock to exaggerate this maybe a bit, but the kind of rain that we've seen, that gold color to purple, that's 8, 10, 12, maybe 16 inches of rain all told between now and midnight. And then down across Fort Bend County, 6 to 8 inches of rain, a possibility. So let's just forecast it, and if we're wrong, great. But be prepared for heavy rain down to the south of Houston as we continue to go on. And this is adding to the last 24 hours. This is the last graphic I want to show you here. But look at the last 24 hours, and you're going to see, especially up here to the north, how this just blossoms. I mean, just look at that. From Liberty County and Winnie, where you've had so much rain, out toward the Beaumont area, this is 20 to 30 inches of rain that you have seen just in the last 24 hours, and it has continued right up toward the Kingwood area, 20 and 30 inches of rain in New Caney, 30 inches since yesterday in New Caney. That's why I said earlier, most certainly Imelda will be a name that gets retired. That would be the second tropical storm after Allison, which also hit us, that will be retired. I'm almost sure it will be. Eric, traffic, I know we've told everybody to stay home, but not everybody's staying home, are they?
Not everybody is staying home. We have proof of that, Frank, because we've got cars all over the place on area freeways, feeder roads that are A, either flooded out, or B, stalled somewhere, not able to move. So my advice to you, as you mentioned, Frank, is just stay home, stay off the roadways. If you're at work, if you got a kid at school, don't go pick your kid up at school. Leave your kids safe at school. Leave yourself safe where you are at work. If you're at home, don't try to venture out until this is over. And it's going to be a while before this is over. We've got I-10 closed eastbound toward Winnie, so you're not getting to Beaumont in any way, shape, or form in the near term by any means. East Tex Freeway, Bill Spencer just mentioned that it was opened up recently. It's still kind of precarious, especially as you get inside the Beltway. We've got very slow traffic due to heavy rain that is beginning to lighten up, but the floodwaters have not receded. Same thing for the North Freeway. Big problems on the North Freeway. We're starting to see problems on I-10, both east and west of downtown, too. So let's kind of show you what's going on. Frank showed you this shot just a few minutes ago. This is I-10 East, the East Freeway at McCarty. Both directions, underpass, underneath train tracks right here. So you've got a subterranean portion of road, and yes, the water finds the lowest spot. That's where it is. We've got cars that are trying to get through. This is absolutely the thing you do not want to do. If you have to sit in the floodwaters until they recede, do so, but you don't want to flood your car out. You're running the risk of ruining your car, and you know, ultimately, the worst thing that could happen is you could lose your life in a situation like this. But people are still trying to do it. Not the thing to do by any means. It's going to take a while for this water to recede. The rain has calmed down a little bit, but it is still flooded. Katy Freeway, this is I-10 on the other side of town. Right near Memorial Park, there is another overpass. This is a railroad bridge that the freeway goes under. It, too, is underwater. All right, we can see it a little bit better here. Oncoming traffic, this is eastbound right here. This is the westbound side of things. Both directions stopped because of the flooded roads. We've got one of my coworkers' husbands is stuck in that right now. This is really interesting. Katy Freeway at Houston Avenue. Notice this is the westbound side of the Katy Freeway right here. Cars are at a standstill. This is White Oak Bayou. Look at how close White Oak Bayou is to getting onto the Katy Freeway, I-10. It is within a couple of feet, it looks like. The water is extremely high on White Oak Bayou. If it were to overshoot the banks here on I-10, we would have serious problems going on. Of course, we've got serious problems pretty much everywhere. East Beltway 8, this is at Lake Houston. Elevated section of roadway here, so cars are getting by. We've got cars parked on the side, but look at on the bottom side of it. It says a lake. These are roads, but they've turned into lakes. These cars here trying to find the highest spot they can to keep from flooding, and they're stuck there until the water comes down. They've had 10 inches of rain in this location in the past 6 hours. They've had 20 inches of rain in the past 24 to 48 hours. So this water is going to take a while to go down. With that much rainfall in the region, northeast Harris County up toward Roman Forest in southeastern Montgomery County, it's just going to take a very long time for this to kind of recede. This is the North Freeway across Timbers. I mean, all these pictures are the same, but it just reinforces the fact that you need to stay off the roads. These people did not, and they are stuck. This is a feeder road. It's not a river. It's not a bayou. This is a feeder road. It is covered in water, impassable. These people are not getting off the freeway. Likely there is some flooding down the road here, and they're just not able to get by. So the story is pretty much the same on the north side of town. West side of town, Katy Freeway out toward Katy, we've got problems because of the heavy rain that's falling now, so the water is rising in that area. Here's another example. North Freeway at Little York, the feeder road flooded. This bus has been sitting there for at least the past hour to 2 hours, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, that is the story. The thing to remember, stay off the roadways. We will keep an eye on things for you. We will let you know when things become passable, but in the meantime, if you're in the Houston area, just plan on staying right where you are until this whole situation settles down. We'll keep you updated as I guess we're in the afternoon hours. I'm not quite sure exactly where we are, but we are in the afternoon. We'll keep you posted for the rest of the day as long as we need to. We'll be here for you. Right now, we want to head back to the desk. Keith and Christine.
Yeah, we certainly will, Eric. Thank you. Yeah, approaching 12:50 on this Thursday afternoon into our 8th hour of extended wall-to-wall coverage here on KPRC Channel 2. We also have up-to-the-minute information on this flood event on clicktohouston.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We've got you covered as we look at the impacts of Imelda. Bringing in anchor Keith Garvin, who just made the drive in, and how was it for you?
Yeah, I came in from the west side of town along the West Park Tollway and also Beltway 8, and so we have to be here, but I was sort of surprised at the number of people who are still out there. And but for the most part, on that particular route, people were driving fairly slowly. A lot of people with their flashers on, which is good. But we can't reiterate enough. If you do not need to be out there, just please stay at home, because you not only can put yourself at risk, you're going to be dealing with insurance issues, safety issues. If someone has to come get you in terms of the first responders, you're then putting them at risk as well. And they obviously are going to be, they're busy today no matter what. So you don't want to be the person to make them busier.
Yeah,
so.
And a lot of those roads are like parking lots anyway.
They are.
Either a lake or a parking lot, so you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go anyway. So just stay at home and be safe. We can't reiterate that enough. So right now we do want to turn to reporter Kathy Hernandez on the North Freeway in Conroe. Kathy, what is it looking like in your area?
Good afternoon. We were actually in the Cleveland area. We were pushed north to get out of those flooded waters on Highway 59. We came back around, and now we're headed back into into Houston on 45, and this is what we're running into now. Flooded roads along 45. This is going northbound just before you reach the Conroe Regional Medical Center. You can see tow trucks here are trying to clear out some stalled vehicles that are here. And just minutes ago, I saw a family coming out of that white car. It appears that they're doing okay and they weren't hurt. But of course, I'm sure they're just a little worried after this situation of the driver going into water. Of course, that is exactly what we tell everyone not to do, but it just does appear that that water came up so quickly. Some drivers are still going through, and they are making it, which of course, again, is very dangerous. But just on the other side of that tree line there, it's Stewart's Creek. So that's what's on the other side of that feeder road right now. And again, this is just south of the Conroe Regional Medical Center on 45. You can see traffic is very slow because everyone is looking over as police crews are here, as a tow truck is here trying to clear out these vehicles. We have seen about 6 vehicles here that are just stalled out. So of course, this is just a reminder for everyone, be safe out there. As we've all been telling you, if you can stay home, please stay home. And of course, do not drive into high water because this is the stuff that could happen. You could get trapped, and fortunately for these people here, it appears that they made it out safely. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that is a good thing that they are out safe and sound. But yeah, again, if you don't need to be out there, just please stay where you are in a nice, safe spot. Kathy, thank you so much. All right, we want to give you another look at that shot from the Houston TransStar camera at I-10 East at McCarty. This, of course, on the east side of town.
Yeah, we were hearing from Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo earlier, and as well as Jeff Lindner, and they were saying basically if you look at a shot like this, like they advise not to drive under these overpasses because you're going to get stuck or you can end up drowning. A worst case scenario, something terrible can happen. It looks like cars are still trying to push through, which is clearly not advisable.
Yeah, and we see mainly some trucks that are trying to go through right now. And even though you're higher, you could still, put yourself at risk and cause potential damage for your vehicle as well. We've seen a lot of spots. I know I've seen over the years when we've had flooding events where we have these overpasses and you can drive through at one moment and there's no flooding whatsoever, and within 15-20 minutes it looks like this. And so this is a really ugly scene that we're seeing here. But we have those trucks and SUVs who are trying to go through, and you just hope not too many other people are encouraged to follow their path because they're making it through. Looks like they are high profile enough to do it. There are some other trucks, some other vehicles behind them that are staying put. And that certainly is most advisable.
Yeah, trying to see a scope of just, if we're looking at, let's say that's a Ford F-150, I can't really tell the make and model.
I think that was a Chevy.
A Chevy. The water was almost up to the back tail light. So we're looking at, I don't have a measuring stick out there, but the water is significant, and certainly as those smaller vehicles are stalled out there.
Yeah, and that looks like a Charger, perhaps. That's the white car on the right-hand side. It's stranded and stuck with the lights on it, and it doesn't look like it's an emergency vehicle. And so that individual ended up getting stuck. And there is a truck there. That is a Chevy right next to it that is sitting in that same spot as well. So just this is one of many scenes around the area right now. A lot of these underpasses get flooded very, very quickly. And if you know that you travel in an area where you're going to go under an underpass, normally you probably, before you leave where you are, we're asking you to stay where you are, but if you do get out and your route does take you under an underpass, the best thing to do is think of another route or just stay put where you are.
Yeah, again, this is a live look at I-10 East at McCarty, where this is clearly one of the many, many trouble spots. We're talking probably hundreds of trouble spots in and around the areas that, people have not, they're out there driving around. The best advice we can give is just to stay home. But if you are driving around, avoid these areas because first responders have a lot to deal with and a lot on their hands right now trying to make water rescues. And if you don't add to those numbers, that's a good thing.
Yeah, most certainly. So we'll continue to monitor this situation right here. Right now, we want to get over to Winnie in Chambers County. That's about west-southwest of Beaumont, and it's been one of the hardest hit areas throughout this event. Our Brandon Walker is there now with an update. Brandon.
Hi, Keith. So I want to turn the camera around real quick, Alan, if we can show you. There was an 18-wheeler that was stuck on 124 throughout the day. You got a heavy loader wrecker there trying to pull it out, and that is a significant sign of progress here along State Highway 124, which runs north-south between Stoll and Winnie here in the area. The water has subsided significantly as we continue our travels with the Mont Bellevue Fire Department, which is making EMS calls, also rescues. We've got Buck and Jose back here. They've been at it since it was dark outside. Guys, how are y'all doing? Doing all right? Doing all right. All right, so we're about to make another rescue. You say about 12 people or so we're about to go pick up right now and bring them to a point of safety. But as photojournalist Alan Reed gets a look at State Highway 124, one side of the highway is passable. The other side, as you can see, still remains underwater. But the water has subsided significantly. That is progress. We came from the high school, the East Chambers County High School, which has acted as a temporary shelter for folks. There was a family live a little closer to Beaumont. They were there taking shelter. They hitched a ride with us here. They were able to get one of 2 remaining hotel rooms, thank goodness for them, so that they could take a hot shower and get some sense of refuge. They tell us that their home likely is a total loss. They also share the story of another relative who just moved into their home maybe a week ago after Hurricane Harvey, and they're seeing some significant damage again. So that's a storyline that we will see played over quite a few times here in this part of our area. Folks who rebuilt after Hurricane Harvey only to wake up this morning and find feet of water inside their homes yet again. A live look now at the businesses here along State Highway 124 as we travel with the Mont Bellevue Fire Department as they make EMS calls, also just rescues from people trying to get to higher ground here. As I mentioned, we're about to go pick up 12 more people, bring them to safety, and that's been their job here throughout the day. As far as Mont Bellevue goes, though, they're seeing some water there too. So you know, they're here helping, but they've got their fellow brethren there doing a good deed too. So we're seeing the water beginning to subside, and that's the good news as we continue to ride along with the Mont Bellevue Fire Department. Again, about to go make yet another rescue. They've been at it since it was dark outside, guys, and they'll continue to do so, they tell us, until they're given the call to come back. You can see that truck making its way. The water has gone down, so that truck is sitting up pretty high, and you can see a little further down, it's not so bad. So that's where that driver presumably is going. Traffic making its way here northbound, at least, in the opposite direction of us to I-10, where they're able to get no traffic along I-10 because it's shut down both eastbound and westbound at this point because parts of the highway are considered impassable because of all of the creeks and tributaries here overflowing and spilling onto the highway, and that's what we've seen throughout the day. But again, if you've stayed track with us throughout the morning, as we've reported with our friends here, the Mont Bellevue Fire Department, you can see the water here along Highway 124, which is a major thoroughfare in the Winnie Stoll area, getting you north-south, has subsided significantly. That is a sign of progress as we continue to report from this area, though, guys. A lot of cleanup, a lot of recovery still to be done. Again, as I mentioned, some people just moving back into their homes we've heard from. Look at that SUV over there, that driver trying to get items out of his SUV, submerged in a ditch there. Luckily, he's okay. But again, guys, folks trying to get to safety, folks trying to get to higher ground. The water has subsided here. That's the good news. But this is a story that we'll be covering for a while. So we're going to continue our journeys with the Mont Bellevue Fire Department. Again, they're about to go pick up 12 more people. More updates throughout the afternoon.
Okay, we hope that water recedes as quickly as possible. Brandon, thank you so much.
Yeah, and certainly a thank you to those first responders. We know they're busy and they're working hard this afternoon. We're hearing from Mattress Mac, and following Hurricane Harvey, he stepped in to help, and he's doing the same today. He's opening up the Gallery Furniture location, the 45 North location, for anyone who needs shelter or to seek refuge. Again, Mattress Mac stepping up if anybody needs a place to go, but the 45 North location for Gallery Furniture is open for you.
And for some parents, we want to get some information out there. This is a tweet from Ed Gonzalez, the sheriff for Harris County Sheriff's Office. He says that a rescue truck is en route to the Academic Academy Daycare. That's at the 11,900 block of Glover. That's in Aldine. Says parents be advised the kids are okay. The kids are safe. Staff is there. They're doing well. The facility has taken in some water, but they say the kiddos and the staff are in a room with no water, but a rescue truck is en route to the Academic Academy Daycare, 11,900 block of Glover as well. So you can see first responders are very, very busy right now.
Yeah, certainly. Okay, we do want to check in with Channel 2 reporter Robert Arnold in Cut and Shoot. That is in Montgomery County, about 6 miles east of Conroe. Robert, how's it shaping up on your end?
Water is stubbornly slow to recede in this area. We're along 105 at FM 1485, and this trio of businesses through here was underwater. We came through. It's gone down now. These poor business owners are having to muck out what's left of the water. They've gone through here. We were in there talking earlier with Mr. Philip Eaton. He's one of the owners of this business. Water actually got up to the second level of the shelves there. So all that product's done. He's gotten some family members to come in, help him out. We talked to him a little bit earlier, so we're going to give him time to clean up. But we have seen this all throughout this eastern portion of Montgomery County. It was interesting, though, you would see it in pockets. Wherever the road would dip down, all those businesses, homes in those areas where the road dipped down would have water like this inside their businesses, inside their homes. If you were on a business or you had a home that was on a rise in the road, then you saw some water in your front yard, but it did not go into your home. Now, the reason I say it's stubbornly slow to go down is if you look, you've got the water coming from back here, and it's rushing this way. It's draining off this way, but it's slow in this area over here. And if once we get past the viewpoint of the block of this truck, you'll see why. So you come through here, and what's taking so long is you've got a lot of properties back there, a lot of businesses back there, and so the water is picking up debris. And I don't know, it's okay, it's pretty good, James. Sorry, talking to my photojournalist, my partner, James Perry. Can you see over there with all that debris? That's what's blocking the water from fully draining off quickly. So we see a lot of that. There's a lot of neighborhoods back here that are dependent on storm drains. The storm drains get overwhelmed. You get debris in there clogging those drains, and so the water just does not go down quickly through here. We've gotten some reports of homes back in this area off of 105, 1485, where water has gotten to the first floor of the homes. We have not heard of any injuries at this point. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is telling us, though, they're trying to get to as many people as they can. They opened one shelter at the East Montgomery Senior Center, but they said that essentially became an island at one point. The only way to get supplies into that shelter was those big, tall, high-water vehicles. They opened another shelter around noon today in the Woodlands area. That's going to be St. Simon, St. Jude, the Catholic campus there in Woodlands on Glenlock. That opened as a second shelter through here. Now, the other thing, too, there's going to be a lot of people who not only are finding their businesses inundated by water, but, James, if you can walk back with me back through this way, too, their transportation's gone under as well. A lot of people came out here on 105, parked their car thinking they were going to be up a little bit higher, and unfortunately that was just not the case. So you see, like, food events, trucks like that, other people back in here, their cars were swamped out. We have seen that in so many different spots. The freeway feeder roads got quickly swamped through the area, so you had a lot of people who were out on the roads early this morning, really weren't prepared for this. They saw the high water, thought they could get through it, could not. They either tried to turn around and they stalled out, or they tried to cut across to get back on the freeway and hit a muddy patch of grass and stalled out that way. We saw a lot of people getting towed. A lot of people had to be helped out of their cars because they just stalled out. The water was not going down quickly, and this water is still high, even though we haven't seen a drop of rain probably in a good 3 hours throughout here. So we are getting a break from the rain, which should give this water a chance to drain off quickly. It's just not happening that fast. A lot of that is due to the debris that we showed you earlier. We also spent some time in the area of FM 2090 between Grangerland and Splendora. That's about as a crow flies, about 15 minutes from here, and that was near Caney Creek High, Moorhead Junior High. We were getting reports from the sheriff's office that there was water in homes back there. We went as far as we could over Caney Creek, and we just couldn't go any further. Matter of fact, our news truck couldn't go through. I had to hop a ride with a gentleman in a very tall pickup truck and another gentleman who had a tractor to get back through. But even at some point, we couldn't get through the area. That was the water had gotten so high. And it's not just that. Because you're by these creeks and all, this water has has some real force to it, some real current. If you look, now it's going through this way, and that makes it even more dangerous, because if you're trying to walk through this, that can knock you off your feet in no time at all. And especially now that it's draining and the current's getting a little bit stronger through that area, that makes it very dangerous. That's why sheriff's officials and first responders say, please, please, please do not try and walk through this. If you're stuck in an area, don't try and walk through, because you can get caught in some of these currents, and you just don't know where that current's going to lead you. Is it going to lead you to a culvert, a storm drain, or something like this, where you could actually potentially get stuck? And you see you have all those oil drums and tree limbs there, and that has the potential to lead to drowning, and they've seen that before. So that's why they say, please do not try and walk through this water. Beyond that, we've seen snakes through here. We've seen little flotillas of ants that go through here, and all manner of beasties. So it's just best to stay out of the water, not to mention some of the chemicals that we see. You see these sheens going through because it hits different propane tanks, gas tanks, things like that is in people's yards, in front of businesses, knocks it over, sucks it in. I don't know if you can see it through the camera lens, but you can see that nice rainbow sheen through here from some of the petroleum products that have been knocked over and taken into this water. We're supposed to get a good update at 3 o'clock from the sheriff's office on a good overview of the county as a whole. A lot of the calls, according last time I checked in with the sheriff's office, was in the eastern portion of the county. They were saying, oh yeah, we're seeing a lot of that too. A lot of people trying to help out friends by towing today. Hope that does not look good. Hopefully that will not turn out poorly. But we've seen a lot of people doing that today. It's been really wonderful to see a lot of people who have come out. Their truck wasn't flooded, their car wasn't flooded, and so they've tried to tow people out who were flooded, bring by some water, things like that. So everybody's really pitched in to try and help one another out through this area, and I think that gentleman's trying to figure out what he's going to do with that chain and move it back. It looks like it wrapped. Did it wrap around the tire? Did it wrap around the tire, or did you get it? Okay. So that's good. So he's over through. All right. So that's good. So he will get on. So we've seen that all day, people helping people, which is what we always see in times like this. That's one of the amazing things why I love living and working in the greater Houston area. People here just pitch in and help everybody out when we hit crisis times like this, especially since this water is not going to be going down anytime quickly. However, if we keep getting this break in the rain, it's hopeful that it will not get any worse than we've already seen for these businesses and some of these homes. As I was saying earlier, Sheriff's Office will give us an update at 3 o'clock. They were saying the vast majority of calls they got were in the eastern portion of the county. We're going to get a little bit of a finer point on that at 3 p.m. during a news conference. They did say, though, that it caught a lot of people off guard because they were seeing areas that were flooding, reporting high water on the road, that had never seen flooding and high water on the road, not even during Harvey. So I think probably about 1 in every 5 people that I've talked to today, as I've been in all these different areas, were saying that they had no idea this was coming. They had not seen this. They had never seen this during hurricanes. The gentleman who owns this business, he's been here 35 years. He said this is only the second time he's ever flooded. First time wasn't anywhere close to this. So a lot of people were surprised by the amount of water that came through this area so quickly. And now they're forced to clean up and try and rebuild from all of this. And of course, we'll be here throughout the day. And as soon as we get better updates on road closures and everything, we will pass them along to you. Reporting live from Cut and Shoot, Robert Arnold, KPRC, Channel 2 News.